Whenever we talk about inclusion, we cannot restrict ourselves in education only. It is a subset of the entire ecosystem. We have to create an ecosystem where all the children or people will get an equal opportunity to live in our society. Because every child has their own or unique features, whether it is behavioral thinking or activities or appearance and so on. So it is our responsibility or duty to create an ecosystem where we can live together, we can work together, and we have to create the friendly environment so that all are treated equally.
That is correct. It's interesting, okay, Professor Ghosh, that you said that you don't use the word disability. In the UK, it is still a term that we use. It's interesting how language changes over time, isn't it? So yes, that is still enshrined in our legislation. But yeah, I'd always rather focus on abilities rather than the disability. So yes. Right.
Diversity, as Professor Ghosh has just mentioned, actually includes everything. Race, ethnic origin and color, religion and creed, sexual orientation, age and ability. As an ever-evolving creature in an ever-changing world, the innumerable aspects of our humanity, all our ways of being, knowing, and moving through the world are contained in this one concept. Talking about diversity of abilities is just a part of it, I guess. What is your opinion, Michael and Caroline, both?
I agree totally, Manabina. I mean, diversity, inclusion. I always take it in its wider sense, because I think if we limit it to a group like young people with SEND, we're being exclusive, aren't we? We're not being inclusive. So I think in terms of looking for an inclusive society or communities or schools, I think we need to take every difference into the equation. Yeah, we all want to be together and learn together. And I think, as Professor Ghosh said, you're about working together ultimately in that, it makes for a fairer society. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I would echo what Michael has said, Marabina, in the sense that we're all different. We all bring our own challenges. We all have our own differences, our likes and our dislikes. So what makes us neurotypical? Everybody has their own diversity. And it's about that acceptance and that belonging in society that everybody craves, that they have a right to be. And post-pandemic, I think it's emphasised even more the necessary need for understanding of culture and of community and relationship with each other and those who are different from ourselves and the way that we think. Because at the end of the day, without each other, we have nothing.
And Michael sent me a video previously on diversity. Michael, would you want me to show that video to our participants?
Hello, welcome to Story Time. I'm going to be reading My Hair, written by me, Hannah Lee, and illustrated by Alan Fatima Haran. Are you ready to jump in? Let's go! My birthday's coming up so soon. I'll need new clothes to wear. But most of all, I need to know, how shall I style my hair? Let me do your hair, jokes Daddy. I'm getting better, I swear! Mummy rushes in the room. Daddy, don't you dare. Off we go to the hairdressers to get it done professionally. As for what style I choose, You'll have to wait and see. Miss Dawn has lots of magazines just so you can get a clue of the kind of hairstyle that you would like to do. Whilst I'm looking through them, my imagination starts to grow. I start to think of all the hairstyles I already know. Mummy has the most dazzling dreadlocks. Such a joy to see them swing. I like to practice plaiting them. It is my favourite thing. My sister likes to experiment. There's not a look that she won't try. Bantu knots, a high top fade, braids, she's not shy. My brothers both have cornrows with different shapes, patterns and lines. They love to show them off at school yelling, "Come see the best designs!" Daddy says, "Shave all over please," when he sits in the barber's chair. His beard is shiny, curly and full. That's where he likes his hair. Can you do a beard at home? Do this. Oh. Uncle has waves that are so smooth, swirling all over his head. He keeps his hair brushed and neat. Don't forget the do-rag before bed. Auntie's hair is shaved real short, much like the head of a lioness. She is so cool, stylish and carefree. That's how she likes it best. Can you do the sound of a lioness? A nice big roar! Baby cousin is so small. She hasn't much hair yet. Already it's begun to grow. She'll have loads soon, you can bet. Grandma's hair is short and cropped. There are many curls of grey. She says she found one years ago and invited them all to stay. Invite all of those hairs to stay. Say, come on, come on. Grandpa wears turbans, tie heads and scarves, his hair tucked away from his face. For Grandpa has so much hair, that's how he keeps it in place. Time to take a look at my friends and what styles they wear. After all, I still don't know how I'll style my hair. Ryan will have plaits with bows. Her mummy can do them fast. Put a bonnet on, she says, to make the style last. Michael has a mohawk. Brandon a short back and sides. They go to the barber's together and chat while the cutter glides. Nina is my best friend. What style? She asks with a pout. I want to try something new. Maybe a twist out. It's been 45 minutes, cries Miss Dawn. What will you do with your hair? Time to let Mummy decide. Don't you think that's fair? So Mummy whispers in my ear, and that's exactly when I know the hairstyle that I will wear will be my afro. I love my afro when it's out. So big and great and free. My daddy says it is my crown. It defies gravity. A creation to which none could compare. I'm so glad it's mine. I love my hair. I had so much fun reading my hair, and I hope you did too, reading along at home. How many hairstyles do you think are in the book? How many hairstyles can you see around you right now? What's your favourite hairstyle to do? Why not have a go drawing it? Thank you so much for joining me for story time, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
Yeah, I mean, I think on different levels. I mean, I hear that almost every week for the last year because it's part of the presentation for the new prospective trainees, teacher trainees. But it's about the attributes of a teacher that engage children and those children to interact with it, and that's an inclusive approach, isn't it? You know, to capture the imagination and motivate all children. And then it's also about difference, and you know, at first glance, it's about race and ethnicity. But the better candidates for a place will also talk about how it's wider than that. It's about children who learn differently, who are different in a range of ways. So it's a really good starting point for young children to talk about and celebrate difference and diversity. So yeah, it's a lovely little video.
Can I add to that, Manabina? That's the first time I've actually seen that video, and it just gives so much for us to think about with inclusion. Because when we think about inclusion, sometimes I think we go too deeply, and I think we think about so many of the big, wider issues that education has, through country to country, government to government. But for me, it was, for young people today, their hair is important. Each hair on their head, it means something to them, but they also want to fit in. If I have my hair in an afro, are some people going to talk about me? If I have my hair in braids, it's going to be different. Whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're orange and green spots, we worry about these things on a personal level, and that brings a barrier to learning. It brings a barrier to inclusion. It brings a barrier to open up other people's thinking about what is normal, what is neurotypical. I absolutely thought it was a really powerful story there, Michael, and it just gives so many questions that you can build from that around friendships, around that inclusion, around belonging. I just thought it was great.
Do you want to go first, Caroline? I'm just aware that I've got some slides if you want to show them.
For me, the area that I come from is quite rural. I did 40 odd years in Bristol, and in inner city Bristol, where there was a lot of deprivation, and within that deprivation came a lot of reading issues and difficulties, which is where my love for reading came, and also looking historically over the generations of the difficulties that reading has had an impact on people's livelihoods across the generations. So for me, one thing I'm really passionate about is that early reading, that early engagement, that joy of reading, but even the broadening of vocabulary for some young people, and the language that they use. The simplicity of language can be really powerful, but also a negative language can have a massive impact on a young person's life. So for me, in my particular area, what I have found is some difficulties with scholars and academics understanding the need to give additional take-up time, listening time, to process information that they are hearing. And so language for me is a massive part of also reading. And again, that visual stimulus that Michael was talking about with regards to that wonderful story is that triangulation of the picture, the word, and the interpretation. And those three things together actually embed our learning, even as adults, and we take that and journey through that. So the more we can enable that to happen within our schools, within our education, and within our own thinking, I think it will really help identify some of the diversities and help young people overcome those diversities. So within, again, the area that I work in, is I find a lot more higher needs young people coming into mainstream schools with significant challenges to fit into a curriculum that they find most challenging. And skilled teachers, skilled professionals are trying their absolute best to meet that need, to enable them to flourish in quite a high academic area. And again, that visual process and that visual understanding enables young people to feel more confident to have a go, and that overcoming that fear, because a lot of it is based in fear of failure, fear of getting things wrong, and fear of not wanting to try just in case somebody's going to think badly of them. So that's the emotional side of things, which I think also this post-pandemic has had a greater impact with, and more young people already feel nervous and anxious about coming into an environment again that there is perhaps a little bit alien to them.
This slide, some of you will have seen this. I'm sure it's not nothing new or something that I've invented. It's been around for a long time, but I just think it's a really clear and simple model, and it is a model. So models are always simplify the situation. It's a very complex situation, but it helps to simplify it. So each of the circles represents a community or a society, or maybe some of the things we're talking about, a school. In the first one that's labeled exclusion, you can see that within the circle, there are dots of the same color, which represents a fairly homogeneous membership or groups or children. And then dotted around the outside are a range of colors representing diversity, so a more heterogeneous group. So this could be in a school represent children from different backgrounds, for instance, different cultures, a range of learning needs, socioeconomic backgrounds. And you can see they're outside of the circle, they're looking in, so they are excluded. Then we move over to the second model, which is titled segregation. So you can see there that the heterogeneous group, the diverse group, has its own community, and I instantly think of special schools. So the large circle or the blue dots could represent mainstream education, and then the smaller group, the mixed group within their own circle, that could be a special school. Then we move over to the term integration, and you can see there that the heterogeneous group is now inside the main group, the main society, the main community, or the school, but is still not a part of it. And in England, we have a number of schools where there are units or provisions within them, and this represents that very well. So there may be groups of children within a part of the building, and they may venture out into the mainstream for lunch or for social activities. But obviously what we want them to be doing is to be going into the mainstream and into lessons as well. And that is where inclusion is. So that's the final one. Everyone's together in the same circle, enjoying each other's company. Everyone is accepted, everyone belongs, and everyone learns together. So I kind of hope that those that haven't seen that before might find that a useful model. It's a good talking point, and you can apply that to a number of situations.